Hey everybody, it's Mike again, back with another deck profile and one of the channel favorites. We're going over my Traptrix build. I have changed it a bit since with the decrease in price of Pot of Prosperity, we're going to give that a shot. I've never really played that in this deck before. And question of the day. Jay, I'm putting you on the spot. What's the question of the day?
What's your favorite Thanksgiving or Christmas meal?
All right, there you go. What's your favorite Christmas meal?
Ramen.
And Ruben's is obviously ramen. All right, so jumping right into it, the basics here, these 9 cards, I don't think they'll ever change. Murmello, Pudica, Mantis, starters, tutors, really good. The rest of the Traptrix monsters, 2 Dionea, 2 Campa, and 1 Vesiculo. These being your extenders. I really like Vesiculo, as I've gone over multiple times. She lets you reuse traps from your graveyard and pitch traps from your board that you don't really need anymore. And Dionea is a wonderful extender. The creatures that aren't Traptrix, Parallel Exceed. I love this card. As I've said many times, it's probably the first thing I would upgrade the deck to if you don't have them from getting the 3 structure decks. I have seen some people talking about Shade Brigandine because of SP Little Knight, but until I see more results with people playing Shade Brigandine doing better, I'm not necessarily just going to go with some guy on the internet who has no tournament results to his name talking about why Shade Brigandine is better than Parallel Exceed. And the only other hand traps we're running right now are 3 Ash because of the changes we talked about before, which we'll get to when we get into the spell cards. And into the traps. 3 Imperm, probably the second best upgrade for this deck. It's a trap, it's a hand trap, it's really good. It triggers Sarah, it does all the things. 3 Holotea, probably your best card in the entire deck.
I'll give you a bulk card that I think people are playing.
Oh, yeah, here's a bulk card people are playing sometimes, you know. I don't currently have it in my extra deck. If you are crazy enough to buy one of these for yourself, put it wherever you feel like. In here, you know what? She's gonna hang out right here. I'll leave her there for the whole profile. Now on to the hand traps, or not hand traps. Sorry, trap holes. I can speak English. 2 Floodgates, 2 Gravediggers, and 1 Nightmare. These numbers can be changed to whatever you want. I mostly play 2 Gravediggers because I hate drawing it and losing to Nibiru. I believe Ruben shares a similar opinion with Traptrix that I do. Yeah, he hates it too. And then 2 Floodgates because it's good and generic. There's also options like Banishing and Terrifying, I would say, as I often say in my profiles. If your locals is an environment where you could use Banishing or Terrifying, and I'm not running it, don't listen to me, run it, because your locals controls what your meta is. So if different variations are better at your locals, then do that. There is no perfect deck list for every tournament. You gotta base it on what you need at the time. And then the final traps, 3 evenly matched. We suck at going second. Everybody knows that with Traptrix. This helps, and it's also something to recycle with Vesiculo, and it's a trap. So, you know. On to the spells. 2 Garden. I really like my 2 Garden since I love naturally drawing it and then having 2 Traptrix monsters because you just go wild when that happens. 1 Feather Duster. I saw this in a couple lists. I figured I'd give it a shot. I don't know if you really need it with Murmello being able to pop a bunch of spell and traps for you, but you know, it's an option. And then, as I was talking about, since this is now affordable, we're going to try 3 Pot of Prosperity. The main reason why I wasn't running it until this point is I kind of feel like if I am doing a budget deck profile and then I jam 3 formerly $50 cards into it, it's not really that helpful as a budget deck anymore. So I was trying to do the best I could without playing Pot of Prosperity, and I think I did a fairly decent job of that, but now there's no reason really to not try it. So now we're going to get into the extra deck, and as I mentioned previously, if you have an SP, you probably want to play it. My extra deck, and actually all the extra decks that I have right now, currently aren't using SP, but, you know, it's an easy slot almost anywhere. So, start off, 3 Sarah, 1 Adipus. I'm currently on 1 Rafflesia because I was changing a few things. I still like 2 Rafflesia, so the moment I don't like this, she's going right back to 2. All right, SP, you're going over here. 2 Pingu, and my favorite one, Alamaris. This is a pretty standard layout. A lot of people like 1 Rafflesia. I like 2 just because it's a really good card, and I like having access to more than 1. It's come up on occasions. And then the non-Traptrix monsters, Excited Knight, Laguska, Time Thief, Merrymaker, Sargus for the 4 material Zeus, and then we're trying out Typhon. So if I was going to play SP, probably Excited. That's right off the bat what I think I would probably cut, or I might get rid of these, run a second Rafflesia, run an SP. So that is my extra deck. And again, I'm not sure how Typhon's going to do. We literally just got him, what, 2 days ago? 3 days ago? Yeah, so I haven't had really a chance to play with him yet, but I know I like the idea of him in a more controlling deck like this. And then we'll go over, I haven't made a lot of changes to my sideboard, but we'll go over what I'm doing. Still on the Pank, still on the Turtles, especially since I'm no longer running Ghost Ogre, because I'm trying Pot. These are extra important because, as I repeatedly say in these profiles, Traptrix's biggest problem is dealing with cards that are already on the board. You can stop almost you can stop almost anything your opponent's trying to play from their hand, but if it's already on the board, you're sad. So these help with that. Still on triple anti-spell, really powerful card. Triple proxy solemn judgments because they are in lab right now because I'm doing a bunch of profiles in a row. Double Cyclone, triple Dark Ruler. I don't know how relevant Dark Ruler is anymore. I kind of keep this in my sideboards because I really like the card, and when it comes to going to locals where people play weird shit all the time, having generic answers can sometimes be better than necessarily what is the best meta sideboard because people play weird things. So just having a generic no, you don't get to have effects on your board can be pretty useful. So that is the build that I'm currently trying with Traptrix. Jay moved recently, so we're probably going to go to some locals out in his new area, and then I'll have an opportunity to test. And this is probably the deck I'll be playing the most. I need to get some reps in with Lab, but also if I don't want to think as much, Traptrix is just the deck that I know really well besides Sky Striker. So yeah, hope you guys like the profile, and have a good one.